नमस्कार मित्रों। जय श्री राम। भारत माता की जय। भारत माता की जय। मंदिर वही बनेगा, मंदिर वही बनाएंगे, मंदिर वही बन गया। What am I doing? Oh no, once again. Tried too hard to once again become a post 2014 nationalist भक्त. But see friends, I again fell miserably. यार मेरे से होता ही नहीं, जितना ही मैं कोशिश कर लूँ. So what to do? Just kidding. Hello friends, a warm welcome to all. A very good afternoon to everyone to viewing to my YouTube channel. This is your friend Truly Shoham. Before I start my official content presentation today, just one request. Feel free to subscribe, like and comment on the content posted on my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification regarding my YouTube channel whatsoever. So friends, the points we're going to discuss today on my video, my presentation today is some very important coinages, some very important terms which has bothered us over the last couple of years, couple of months, even the last couple of weeks. The points which we're going to discuss today is freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Is it absolute? Is it okay to uphold your freedom of speech at the cost of offending someone, either from the majority community or the minority community? Even questioning religion, the practices, and everything. Is it okay? We are going to discuss that critically, dissect that analytically, and also hopefully, come to a conclusion regarding this. It's difficult, but why not give it a try? So, first thing first, freedom of expression, freedom of speech. What is this? What a khaina mathay দেয়. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression has been upheld by the Honorable Indian Constitution in the Article 19 by 1 by A, where freedom of expression, freedom of speech tantamounts to the freedom to express one's opinion freely as a citizen of this country with conviction without the fear of anyone. I mean, not exactly I'm quoting, but that exactly is the essence of the as per Indian Constitution. Now, cut to that in the present day scenario. The very recent Agrima Joshua, the stand-up comedian, versus Shubham Mishra, the so-called YouTuber, who I hate to call a YouTuber because that is belittling this noble profession. What exactly happened in that scenario? I'll just give you a small background before I cut to the main point. Agrima Joshua is a stand-up comedian on which she had made some points pertaining to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. In which, if you check that video on YouTube, I'm going to give that in the description link also. If you check that video, it's available in YouTube. Not for a second she insulted the glorious legacy of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Not for a second. She questioned the government's misplaced priority on spending millions and millions of rupees to build a statue of an icon who is anywhere in the hearts of millions of Indians. And whether we could have spent that money in doing something positive for the nation, positive for the state of Maharashtra, anywhere in this country. But again, alas, we are living in a post-2014 scenario where even at the drop of the hat, you can be offended. And if you take a name of a cultural icon, tab to sone pe suhaga hai. So that is what exactly happened. The moment Agrima Joshua's video went viral, there were people who hailed themselves as YouTubers like Hindustani Bhau, Shubham Mishra. They started attacking Miss Joshua left, right, and center and justified that by the name of majority faith, that is the Hinduism, Hindutva faith. Shocking, isn't it? But what was more shocking was this guy, Mr. Shubham Mishra, who again I hate to call him a YouTuber, justified that and tried to uphold his freedom of expression, tried to uphold his right to oppose her by giving her rape threats. Can you beat that? It happened. It happened on it's available on YouTube also. But finally, even after much hue and cry and much delay, Shubham Mishra got arrested. But what is more shocking, what is more surprising is that even a criminal like Shubham Mishra, under the garb of majority faith, the garb of Hindu faith altogether, is getting widespread massive support and getting somehow the halo of a martyr after he was arrested, and rightly so. Now coming to the other important part. What has changed in our country post 2014? I'll tell you two things. First thing, post 2014, with the help of the IT cell, Goswamism, and this entire Bhakt ecosystem, megalomaniac, religious divisiveness, polarization has found the mainstream legitimacy, state impunity, where even the fringe elements are getting a free run to do whatever they feel like, whatever they can see, and they can get away with it without anyone even मतलब बाल भी बाका नहीं कर सकता कोई लोगों का. That's what exactly has happened in our country post 2014. No one is safe in this country as of now. I mean, anybody who remotely says something that goes against the official line of the supreme leader, they start questioning you. They start telling you to go to Pakistan. They start accusing of being anti-national, seditious activity, all these things. Whose name shall I take? Great Indian cinema superstars of Hindi cinema, legendary filmmakers, iconic actors, firebrand student leaders, world-renowned human rights activist, Max Essay award-winning journalist, everyone and anyone who has somehow even remotely tried to question whatever is happening in our country, question the popular notion, the mainstream notion, have been branded anti-national seditious activity by this entire IT cell Bhakt right-wing ecosystem. And that's been, I mean, it is very much in public domain. There's no point in denying it. That's the fact. That's reality. Now, the next most important, cut to the next most important part. Religion. Religion is a very sensitive topic. Let's accept it. In our country, even after 7 decades of independence, 7 decades of staying in a parliamentary democracy, we are still discussing whether religion should be attacked, the practice and faith of religion should be attacked with respect to a majority and minority. If we are discussing that, that's a sorry state of affairs. That's unfortunate to say the least. Now, coming to the most important part. This is not something which is new. I'm not going to blame the religion coming to the forefront only in post 2014. Even before that also. Legendary artists, world-class artists like Maqbool Fida Hussain Saab, V.S. Naipaul, Peter Brook, Jasbant Sinha, Aubrey Menon, so many laureate artists have had to face to this. Either they have questioned religion, polity, anything. Their books have been banned. Salman Rushdie Saab, their books have been banned, they have been questioned, they have been not allowed to visit their parent country. This has happened altogether. It's always happened. So, what exactly is the way out of it? I can suggest either two things the way out of it. Because if there's no way out of it, then definitely this chain, this cycle of megalomania, this cycle of hatred, this cycle of this kind of muzzling of any voice of dissent, a questioning would go on. The state, the almighty state has to make this stand clear. The state has to decide whether one upholds the right to freedom of speech, freedom of expression, the right to express the voice of dissent, the right to criticize religion even at the cost of irking the majority and the minority religion irrespective, or you completely criminalize it, you give free hand to the likes of Hindustani Bhau, Shubham Mishra, the Kadni Sena and the thugs and the fringe element. Because you cannot tell an iconic artist like an Aubrey Menon or a Peter Brook or even the late Rushdie, the late Naipaul Saab, the late Maqbool Fida Hussain Saab, that you can question religion, but up to this one. इससे ज़्यादा आप नहीं जा सकते. That can't happen that way. Either you tell the artist that we will not be able to uphold your right, your artistic right, integrity to question the mainstream, question the majority or the minority faith, or the state should just take a backseat and tell the thekedars of religion to and the fringe element to have a free run, because that's exactly what has happened post 2014. This is what has changed. This is what that has changed post 2014. The post 2014, the fringe element in our country, irrespective of religion, politics, and everything, they have had a free run. State impunity they have been given. यार जो मर्जी है उठा ले, अपना ही जागीर है. That's what exactly has happened. Now, the other most important thing. In all this mud, in all this rut that we are in, what is the job of an artist, of an actor, of a social activist? Should they bow down? Should they bow down under majority pressure? Should they bow down under political pressure? Absolutely not. For every Kangana Ranaut, for every Anupam Kher, for every Akshay Kumar, there is still someone like a Shah Rukh Khan. There's still someone like Anurag Kashyap. There's still someone like a Vishal Bhardwaj. Yes, they are still there. They might be minuscule as of now, but then who knows? 1 might be 10, 10 might be 100 in near future. Understand one thing, friends. Criticizing the establishment, criticizing the government makes you anti-establishment does not make you anti-national. Don't get cowed down by the narrative of the Goswamis, the Rubikas, and the Anjanas, and the Sudhirs, and all those thugs who call themselves journalists. Don't be cowed down by that. You can criticize, you can lambast the government as much as you can. That's your basic prerogative as a citizen, as a tax-paying citizen of this great country. Yes, that is your job as a citizen of this great country. And definitely, as opined by the great Mohua Moitra, one of the parliamentarians of my home state, Bengal, speaking the truth to power is an act of valor in times of deceit. Please understand that. You are doing a service to this nation by criticizing and being critical of the establishment. Don't let the Ranavers and the Khates dilute that. And even मुझे तो ऐसा भी लगता है कि in today's times, in post-2014 scenario, if we would have had Rabindranath Tagore or a Gandhi or a Netai Subhash Chandra Bose, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, they might have been asked to go to Pakistan. They might have been accused of seditious activity. They might have been accused of waging war against the state, or worst possible, they might have been lynched also. If not physically, but intellectually, they might have been lynched by this entire right-wing ecosystem. The Vivek Ranjan Agnihotris, the Shubhrashras, they would have ensured that. Because mediocrity rules in our society, no? They could have done that. So, whosoever is fighting this battle, anywhere in this entire universe, including this country, truly Soham stands firmly beside them, will stand beside them, and has previously stood beside them. Please continue this battle. আমি আপনাদের পাশে আছি. So that was my take on this entire debate, on this entire controversial topic. Please let me know yours in the comment section. What do you think of my political content? Because this was my first full-blown political content, because I wanted to say something which was deeply personal to me, irrespective of the outcome. I hope that all my subscribers have the bandwidth, have the democratic capacity to beg to differ, and we can always agree to disagree. We can always have a voice of dissent. Let's have a healthy debate on this. So, before I end this discussion today, once again, thank you so much everyone for supporting me in my endeavor, for staying by my channel, staying by my content. I'll try my best not to disappoint you. Till next week, this is your friend truly Soham, signing out for the day. Bye bye. সবাই ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন, সবল থাকবেন. More when we meet. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Namaskar.